Hello. Oh, it's so good to be back in this space. It's been a while. I'm here. Baby is napping next door. And so I just wanted to come in and share a little bit about what has. Not really. I didn't actually come to share what's been happening. I came to share the newness of this space. So there is a rebrand, a rebirthing happening in the YouTube and podcast space for me, and I'm so thrilled. This is not it. This is like the step before. This is me just coming back because I have things to share. It's not polished, it's not perfect, but showing up is more important than that stuff. So what I came to speak to you about today was how the trajectory of my creative business has gone from a $100 creative project to a $30,000 creative project. It has been a journey, it has been a process. One of the biggest things that I had to rewire and collapse was the story of the starving artist paradigm. And I want to ask you this question. If your creative gifts are not sustaining you, creating overflow and abundance in your life, it's probably because on some level you are still plugged into this paradigm of the broke artist, the starving artist, the one who is giving all of themselves, sacrificing all of their, basic needs sometimes, sacrificing their well-being in order to make their art. And the sacrifice is not something that you need to do anymore. It's optional. Okay, this paradigm is optional. And it's time to step out of it. It's time to close that door completely. I know that part of my mission here, why I've come to Earth, is to start from zero, start from deep within this paradigm of the broke artist and shift myself out of it and then help others to do the same, or just be a lighthouse to show others that there is another way. So I started my journey selling art prints at random markets in the little town that I live in. I would make perhaps $20, $40 a day, maybe, selling a couple of prints. I was just talking to my neighbour actually the other day about a time when I thought I'd made it in my artistic career. I went to, there was this beautiful cafe and it had a art gallery there with different artists and local people that, created beautiful pottery and like amazing art. And anyway, I got really bold one day and I went in with some of my drawings and I said, can I put these up here for sale? And they were like, yeah, sure. And so I put my price on it, they put theirs on the top. And I was like, oh my God, my art is there. It's for sale. Like people can buy it. I am an artist. Like it was kind of that moment. And lo and behold, a few weeks later, maybe a month later, they rang me up and said, none of your pictures sold, so can you come and pick them up, please? And I remember being so crushed, very humbled in that moment of like, okay, maybe not. But I think back to the version of me back then. And I am so proud of her for being so bold because it's not easy to put your art out into the world. And I'm so proud of her for continuing on this journey, not taking that first hit and going, oh, I'm not meant to be an artist. This is not for me. I better go back and do, the safe thing. But you know what? Art and creativity and design can be the safe thing. It has become my safe thing. So anyway, that was just a random story that I remembered from last weekend. But the starving artist paradigm is actually an option. And if you do not choose to walk in that any longer, then you can dissolve that paradigm. You can collapse it. And the way that I have found to do this is to actually embody the opposite to that, to embody the energy of the affluent artist. The artist who receives simply for being in that consciousness of flow, creative flow. It doesn't actually matter what I create, whether it be a website design, whether it be a logo or some acrylics on canvas. It actually doesn't matter what I create. It is the process of creation. It is the expression that wants to move through me. It is source that wants to move through me and be anchored here onto the earth. And also, it doesn't actually matter what I produce. It is the frequency that my being emits when I am in that creative flow that actually activates that provision, that abundance, that affluence that is actually always available to us, always accessible. And I've actually just dove down that whole divine provision paradigm in my Luminous membership this month. And you can actually join with a private pass if you wanted to explore what Luminous actually feels like without signing up permanently. You can grab a pass for the month and receive the whole transmission. There are 4. There's going to be an extra on 5 transmissions, the soul activation symbol, all of the stuff that you get every month within Luminous with that private pass. But you are here to bring your art into the world, to create what your soul is here to birth, and you get to receive for that. You get to receive for that. It's time to step out of that limiting belief that you will not be supported for your art. Like I said, I started this journey 1 foot in teaching, my teaching career, 1 foot in yoga, being a yoga teacher, and the other foot in my creative business. My creative business was the last one to kind of get off the ground. And it's because, as I said, I was deep in this paradigm of being the starving artist. And no, my creativity cannot sustain me. It cannot pay my bills, my mortgage. It's just this fun thing that I do. That was me. Until I realized that it doesn't serve to be in that space, because when you're plugged into that paradigm, you're not only limited financially, you're also limited in what you can create, because there's only so much creative energy that you are allowing through in that paradigm. That paradigm is one of limitation, of fear. It's an ego paradigm. It's not a soul paradigm. And so there's always going to be that ceiling, that lack, that limitation, that fear playing out within that. And I noticed it, and I didn't want to be playing in that realm anymore. And so I adopted this new identity of the affluent artist, the artist whose creations are here to be sought after, to be in demand, whose creations are actually incredibly unique and different to every other soul on this planet. And this is actually the truth of it, that what you are here to create, what your soul is bringing forward, is uniquely yours. It's a gift that you are here to bring. I just had a recent client that I'm working with actually at the moment who has a soul activation symbol logo that's coming together, and it's looking really beautiful. But she found me on Pinterest and said to me, I can always pick out your activation symbols because there's just a frequency behind them. I just know that they are yours whenever I see them on Pinterest. And that was such a beautiful thing to hear, because for me, it's as an artist and as a channel that brings through this soul art, these activation symbols, it's kind of like amazing. The frequency is being transferred. That's the whole point, is that our original authentic soul's expression is rich in energy, rich in our signature frequency. And so when we attune to that, and we allow that to come through, and we get bold and we put ourselves out there and we express it, people can feel that. There is a field that they are connected to, and they feel it. So, as I said just recently, one of my bigger projects was a website and branding package, which was just under 30k New Zealand. So there has been a big leap in who I've become as an artist, as a creative, who I've chosen to be. And I very much could have easily chosen to stay in that limitation of the broke artist and continually just doing my art on the side and not making it my full-time thing, and still believing that I was limited, still believing that this was not a pathway to abundance. Your art is the pathway to your abundance, to your financial overflow. And if those two things are woven together, which they usually are, money and art, I'm talking about money and creativity, they are very tightly woven together, especially if you associate with perhaps being part of that broke artist paradigm. You are actually meant to follow your creative genius, your full creative flow, because that is the access point to your abundance. That is the pathway to your freedom and your financial overflow. I want to remind you of that. So, as I said, this is the start of the rebirth, and it will probably be imperfect and a little bit clunky, but there are some upgrades coming into this space, which I'm really excited to just pour more of my energy into, more of my teachings, my life, my experience, but also weaving in the energetics and the creator energetics, because as an artist, you have, I believe, an even more alive and vibrant access to creating your reality, because you have that visual thing, that creative thing already turned on, and that is the access point to your reality, to bending time, to shifting how the world responds to you. So more of that to come, more of this moving out of the starving artist paradigm, and actually we just collapse it. We just collapse it by stepping into embodying the affluent artist. We don't even need to be part of that broke artist paradigm anymore. We assume the energy of the affluent artist, the artist in overflow, the artist that is sought after, that when people see their work in the world, they don't even need to read anything. They just feel the frequency behind it, and they know, yes, that is my designer, that is my creative, that is who I'm here to work with next. This is how it works when we plug back into the truth that we are wildly resourced to bring our true soul's genius to the earth. And for you, if that is creative in nature, if